What's up, movie buffs? Jeremy Branch here of the Pop Culture Nihilist, and on this video, I'm going to be talking with Tristan Glover of the Martial Arts Film Freak channel on YouTube about WrestleMania 39. What's up, man?
Yo.
So what we're going to do, and this is based on essentially nothing on my part. Tristan has a little bit of background knowledge, maybe a familiarity with how things went last year and the year before, but we're going to basically just do our predictions for who's going to come out on top at WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania Goes Hollywood. So general audiences and even people that are fans of YouTube are going to be watching this match closely. We've got Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. Tristan, what do you think?
Could possibly steal the weekend, could be for WWE, could be match of the whole weekend.
Why do you say that?
Because Seth Rollins is so great and Logan Paul is extremely athletic and within 3 to 4 matches in WWE has proven that he understands it. I think he has a bit of an in with, like, I've heard some wrestlers say like he fully rehearses everything, which, we talked earlier, rehearsing's fine, but the dude can go. He's mega athletic. He can freaking high fly. He can be technical because he is like I don't know if he was a collegiate wrestler, but he was like a high school amateur wrestler. He understands all that stuff. He's really well-rounded with that. I hate it. I don't like the guy, but I can't deny that he can wrestle.
I think a lot of people are apprehensive about acknowledging that Logan Paul is a super talented guy. It seems like in the WWE community, maybe even more so. But to your point, like, I've never seen the dude set out to do something and then not be exceptional at it. There was a moment in Royal Rumble. Forgive me, I don't remember who it was against, but
Ricochet.
Both of them, the Ricochet part. They both come off the top rope and just freaking collide with each other right in the middle of the ring. It was a showstopper. That was one of the biggest highlights of that event. So I do agree with you. There's a lot of heat behind it. Who wins, man? Who walks out on top?
If Seth Rollins doesn't win, I'll be very upset. I'm trying to think of Logan Paul. He definitely lost against Roman Reigns. He beat The Miz. Him and The Miz beat Mysterio and Dominic, I think, last year at WrestleMania. I would not be happy if Rollins loses, and it's just because Rollins is always a top of the card guy. He's always an inch away from the main event, and I don't think he needs to be losing to Jake Paul.
We won't spend this much time on
Paul.
Everything, but yeah, whatever. Same guy. I don't want to spend so much time on every match, but I am particularly curious about this one because I know Logan Paul signed a 1-year contract. Do you take that stuff into consideration when you're kind of deciding who's going to win or not?
Sometimes I do, but I didn't even know that. I didn't even know he had a 1 year. I knew he had some kind of contract. I don't know it was a 1 year.
And then there's some Saudi fight that's going on here in a couple weeks, and I imagine they're going to want to have Logan Paul in it. Maybe it'll be a rematch. If I were going to guess right now, I feel like Logan Paul wins this one, and I do think it's going to be an upset, but we're just guessing. We'll see how it goes once this thing comes to a close on Sunday night. We'll circle back around to it. How about Austin Theory versus John Cena for the United States title?
I think Austin Theory needs it. Austin Theory needs to win it. It's putting the young guy over. John Cena is not sticking around. He's going back to making movies and stuff. So put the young guy over and head out. I don't know how the match is going to be. I think it can be good because Austin Theory is a great wrestler. I saw him wrestle Seth Rollins in Nashville when they were here, and they freaking tore it up.
What would the asterisk on that be where you say you don't know if it'll be a good fight? You think Cena's past his prime?
I don't know. It comes down to if they have good chemistry. When they had I don't think Cena's ever passed his prime. I think Cena's always going to be able to go. When they had their kind of promo battle, the way Cena just kind of lit him up and he didn't have a whole lot of a reply to it, I don't want that to be the story they tell in the wrestling.
It doesn't feel like it will be. I feel like, not that Cena is probably being framed as a heel, but that was just so savage that it feels like it'll be the triumph if Theory actually wins this match. Like you said, putting over the young guy, I'm with you on that. I think Theory walks away as the winner on this because I don't see Cena going on another title run or anything. Yeah. So
at the same time though, I wouldn't mind seeing Cena pop up on some talk shows, promoting a movie, holding the United States title.
It'd be dope. Yeah, 100%. Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch versus Damage Control. Full disclaimer, I haven't really seen anything about this rivalry. I couldn't tell you who Damage Control is. With all of these legacy wrestlers together in the ring and on the same side, I feel like it's got to go to Stratus, Lita, and Lynch, but I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I'm sure it will, but this is kind of, I guess, maybe a sleeper one. Maybe people won't really give it a whole lot of thought because I completely forgot it was even happening. But Damage Control being Io Sky, Dakota Kai, and Bailey, those are just all three of them are fantastic wrestlers. And you want some older people who maybe are a little bit rusty. You want them to have, good, capable people to be able to work off of. So I think that'll be a solid match that people maybe aren't thinking about too much.
Flair versus Ripley in the singles match for the SmackDown Women's title.
If Rhea Ripley loses, me and my girlfriend will burn the city down.
Oh, okay.
She does not watch wrestling, but she loves Rhea Ripley. And when Charlotte beat her at WrestleMania 2 years ago, the wrestling world was furious. It's the thing I said earlier about Charlotte being overbearing. When she's gone, when she comes back, it's like, oh yeah, cool, Charlotte's back. And then she wins another world title, and we're like, oh yeah, Charlotte's back.
Great, yeah. I haven't seen her cut any fun or exciting promos. The one that she did about not being a Nepo baby, I found to be exceptionally ironic. It's like, just lean into the fact that you are like a legacy generational wrestler, but then be like, maybe I did have a leg up when I got into the industry, but I've had longevity because of my skills and my abilities, and just like a little bit of self-awareness, I feel like would go a long way.
Yeah, and I think it feels like Rhea's going into this the heel, the bad guy, but to the fans, Rhea is fully the babyface good guy here.
Yeah, agreed. All right, what about Bianca versus Asuka in the Raw Women's title match?
Asuka. This one, so this is going to be a great match, I'm sure. I feel like it's probably not going to be given a whole lot of time. They have not been given much of a storyline at all. And this is one that I honestly also forget is happening most of the time.
Yeah, okay.
But it's Bianca Belair and it's Asuka. They are two of the best women in the world, and it'll probably be a good 9-minute match.
How long has Belair had the title at this point?
It's been pretty much a full year. I don't know if she went into WrestleMania last year with it, but she definitely had it at WrestleMania last year. So it's been a year.
Okay. This is, I think, is one for the casuals, like one that I'm interested in, not knowing anything about Omos, but Lesnar versus Omos.
I couldn't give a damn about this match. Omos is green as can be. He can't. I mean, he can move okay
for a giant.
Yeah, but I don't know. Does Brock Lesnar put him over as a huge guy, or does Brock Lesnar take a few hits, hit one F5 and go home? I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what's going to happen, and I also don't care.
All right, I'm gonna go Lesnar for brand recognition. We'll see what happens. Gunther, who is it Gunther or Gunther?
It's Gunther, but if you want to be German about it, it's Gunther.
Okay, then we'll go Gunther versus Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus in the triple threat match for the Intercontinental title. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Don't know who Drew McIntyre is.
I've got money on this being the match of the night, match of the weekend.
Okay.
So they're all great. Drew McIntyre was WWE champion, a fully 100% deserved WWE champion at the worst possible time. He was champion into the pandemic.
Oh, great.
He beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, but he beat Brock Lesnar at the pandemic WrestleMania, so in front of nobody.
Yeah, well, yeah, 1,000 little monitors.
He won the Royal Rumble to do it, and when he won the Royal Rumble, the crowd went insane. He was fully over. People loved him, and then pandemic. So that was a bummer for him. But he's been tearing it up. I've been enjoying everything he does. Gunther and Sheamus, when they were in the UK, had a match, and it was the match of the show. They freaking tore it down. It was incredible. Check out that match if you haven't seen it.
I will.
But I can fully see Gunther, McIntyre, and Sheamus having the match of the weekend.
And who walks away with the Intercontinental title?
Gunther. Well, yeah, I'd like to see somebody else beat Gunther. He's had a good reign, but I would like to see a new person come in and take it off him, and then I'd like to see Gunther go for the world title. Maybe not win it yet, but go for it.
I know that he is a heel.
Yeah.
And so you're not supposed to like him, but there's nothing particularly compelling about him outside of the ring to me, but he is a fantastic wrestler. I think that's undisputed. The one I like the most out of everybody is Sheamus, not knowing who Drew McIntyre is.
This is one of those situations I was talking about where, like, I have followed bits of their career, so I want them to be successful as the person.
Yeah, okay. And you're talking about Gunther.
Yeah, because
Okay.
and I hated when they changed his name. His name was Walter. I loved his indie stuff. I loved him in NXT UK. He had this like historic reign with the UK title where he was just like, he held it for just such a long time. It also helps that it was like during a pandemic, but he was putting on just incredible matches with guys like Ilya Dragunov and stuff, and Tyler Bate. I want Gunther to keep carrying it and have a good WrestleMania win.
All right. So I'm gonna go. I'm with you, man. I'm gonna switch it. Let's see Gunther win. Edge versus Finn Balor in a Hell in a Cell match.
This one is conflicting because I've seen them wrestle now 2 or 3 times, and
Yeah.
I loved their I Quit match. I thought that was great, extremely compelling. I love the ending. I would think it would be great, and Edge will win.
Is the I Quit match as in they fucking quit after the match?
It honestly, I feel like as a kid it used to mean that, or at least they would go away for a while.
Yeah.
Because it would kind of happen like maybe if somebody was like had an injury, and so it'd be like, hey, let's do this I Quit match. I'll lose. I'll take like 3 months off to heal. I'll come back. Like that happened with Rey Mysterio when I was a kid, and I fucking cried.
Okay.
It tore me up. But the way they ended that match, it was like Edge's wife Beth Phoenix was in the ring, and they were gonna hit her with a concerto, which is where like which is like a chair, her head, and then they were gonna sandwich with another chair.
Oh shit.
And so like they were holding Edge back, and they were just gonna like hit his wife, and he had to be like, I quit, and he said I quit, and you know what? They hit her anyway.
Oh damn! I want to watch that. That.
It was a great match, but I think this will be great. I am not really super excited about it. I love Finn Balor, even though he's sort of lost a bit of momentum, but I think it'll be a good match at the end. But I think Edge will win.
Edge will win. Seems like appropriate at this point. I always liked Edge. I know he's been a guy in wrestling ever since the first time I was watching wrestling. Yeah, and always a presence. So between the two of them, I want to see Edge win. I'll go with Edge on that one as well. How about I have a feeling this could be an interesting match, but it's going to be a busy match, and that's Strowman, Ricochet versus Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. What is that? 2, 4, 6, 8 people in the ring?
8 people. Yeah, it'll definitely be very busy. I think Ricochet will do some cool stuff.
Ricochet does seem like he'll do some cool stuff.
Ricochet is always great, so he'll put something crazy on for WrestleMania. I would kind of love to see Alpha Academy win it. I love those two. I think they're fantastic, but I think Street Profits are gonna take it away.
I'm gonna go with you because I don't know who any of these people are except for Strowman and Ricochet. So I'm gonna go Street Profits. We'll move on. Now we get to the 2 big matches, the 2, the what do you call them? The marquee events, I suppose. We've got the Usos versus KO versus Sami Zayn for the tag team titles. As somebody from Pensacola, Florida, I always have to represent and support the Usos. It was Rikishi back in the day, Roman Reigns. Mick Foley lived in Navarre in my hometown, so anytime these wrestlers are fighting, I'm super excited about it. I love that every time the WWE champion comes out and they say, from Pensacola, Florida, and I just get so hyped. So as for the like hometown love and outside the ring, outside the storylines, I want to see the Usos always win. But considering the storyline itself and the way things have been going for a long time, and just like knowing that the Bloodline is the bad guys, I would love to see KO and Sami Zayn win this, with the caveat that there's no way that they win this and then Rhodes beats Reigns. I don't think so. Specifically in this match, I think that Owens and Zayn win it.
Owens and Zayn win it. The crowd goes absolutely insane. It should main event night one. I think Rhea and Charlotte might main event, but this should main event night one.
Yeah.
This is the one, and I think it'd be the first time that a tag match is main evented. At least like a tag championship has main evented. There may have been something. I think there was like maybe WrestleMania 1 was like Hulk Hogan and what's his freaking B.A. Baracus name? Mr. T.
Oh, okay.
I think they had a tag match in like WrestleMania 1. But this would be the first time I think if it main events that like the tag titles are involved. Kevin Owens and Sammy should win. It and the crowd will go absolutely insane. They will hug it out again, and it'll send people happy on night one. If there is some slight chance that Roman loses or Roman wins, the crowd can be happy about something.
Yeah, I am with you there. I feel like this is a reconciliation for like one of wrestling's favorite kind of bromances here. I personally am not so invested that I love Zayn and Owens like a lot of people seem to. I think they have a long storied history that I'm just not privy to.
Right. Yeah. So this is again that knowing their personal stories with the wrestling stories, like going back to them in Ring of Honor, partners, enemies, them NXT enemies, them WWE partners, enemies, partners. They've just got a storied history of loving and hating each other. And it's time for them to love each other again, and they need to be victorious.
All right. Well, I think we're both in agreement for that one. So now we come to the main event, and that is Roman Reigns, who has been the WWE champion for like, I don't know for sure, like 900 days or something like that, versus Cody Rhodes, who we talked about in a previous video. He is the son of Dusty Rhodes. Did you say he started AEW?
Him, Tony Khan, who's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars and some UK soccer teams and stuff. Sorry, football. And the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega started AEW.
Interesting. See, I didn't know that. I did know that he wrestled for AEW, but he's got a compelling story. I had mentioned that I like the fact that there is a real blending of the narrative here, in that he talks a lot about his actual life in his storyline, especially this one with Roman Reigns. For a long time, it was just Cody Rhodes in the ring cutting promos or talking about WrestleMania, and then Roman Reigns would be like on a video monitor, like we never saw him in the same place. But the payoff to see him actually come together was like freaking electric. I really like that. I'm excited about this match. I don't know enough about the inner workings and the political side of it to like make a super informed decision. I feel like all the heat is on Cody, and that Roman is gonna beat him.
I don't know if the crowd will be super like angry if Roman wins, but I think if Roman wins, it'll be a mistake. I think Cody needs to win it. I think they have built up this thing of him saying, first of all, him being like, a Rhodes will be in the main event of WrestleMania. I will win the title that my father never won. I refuse to believe, and this is me, as the kayfabe fan, I refuse to believe that they're going to set something up like that just to take a dump on it. He needs to win, and I'll be very upset if he loses. I understand, like, if they think Roman Reigns needs to get to the 1,000 days, needs to have this crazy long run. I think he's had it. I think that the other night, 2 weeks ago, I think it was on SmackDown, when Cody said, "I'm going to beat you for those titles." Kevin, the Usos are going to lose their titles. Then Jay's going to walk away, Jimmy's going to walk away, and Solo will walk away. And then after that, all that stuff. I think that that's not a prediction. In the words of Paul Heyman, that is not a prediction. That is a spoiler, and it needs to happen. I want that to be what happens.
If Rhodes loses, doesn't he have another shot at the title during like SummerSlam or some shit?
I mean, yeah, probably, but it's WrestleMania. He got to do it at WrestleMania.
And what if it was WrestleMania 40?
That's, like the amount of things that can happen in a year. Like,
yeah.
Whether it, like, somebody can turn heel or face, like the fans can suddenly hate somebody can get injured. There's too much risk in making him chase it for another year, making him work from the bottom to the top again for a whole year. Somebody else could get over, like Sami Zayn could get over and steal that spotlight. It needs to be done now.
Can you think of another time in history, in your viewing history, that they have upset the audience in that type of way?
All the time. WWE doesn't give a shit. Well, Vince McMahon WWE doesn't give a shit about the fans. Like they were forced to. I mean, the two times I can think of where they made people happy was Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan.
Kofi's a badass, dude.
Yeah, Kofi's great. But I mean, every other time in WWE history, almost, there's the whole reign of John Cena that people didn't, that Smart Mark fans didn't like. There's the reign of terror of Triple H, where he beat Booker T in just the most annoying way possible. There's every Roman Reigns victory up until 2018. Like they have upset fans, sent them home unhappy many times.
Does Vince have his hands in the pot right now more than he has over the last couple of months? Do you think he's making creative decisions despite the fact that they're saying he's not?
I hope not. I hope Triple H said, I'll give you one match, and that is Brock Lesnar and Omos. But I don't know. There's rumblings that he's backstage more than ever and that some superstars are scared and upset, and I hope it's not true. And I don't want it to be true.
Oh, dude, we'll see what happens. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Roman, though you are making some compelling points, and I would rather see Cody win. I think anybody would rather see Roman get dethroned, really, no matter who it was. And they've really done a good job about making Cody likable. So we'll see how that plays out. And there was a match that was just announced a couple days ago, and this is one that we are going to make a video for here in just a moment. But before we do switch gears, in this conversation, we've got Dom and Rey Mysterio confirmed to be fighting at WrestleMania. This has been another storyline that's been brewing for a while. I've only seen a little bit of them since I've been watching since Royal Rumble a couple months ago. I like what they've done with Dominic. At least superficially. I think he's a funny character. I haven't seen him in the ring too much, but I kind of like his entitled, bratty kid persona that he's doing right now. I don't want to see him win this. I want to see his dad spank him, but what do you think about this match? Who ends up walking out the victor?
This one is genuinely actually very difficult. I think I want to see Rey Mysterio win it. I think that'll make the crowd extremely happy, but there's also something about like putting Dominic over and making him look good. And I think Rey would be willing to do that for him.
Yeah.
I think this is a very confusing match. And there's a few ways I guess it could go when you got somebody like, when you got like the Judgment Day in the background, because I know that Damian Priest doesn't have a whole lot going on, so he may get involved somehow, or maybe it needs to be a personal affair. I'm not sure how this will go. And this one is also very confusing for me, but I guess Rey wins it to make the crowd happy, but there is some upside to Dominic winning.
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like you're leaning heavy into what's going to make the crowd happy, but if you make the crowd happy every match, then is the crowd actually happy, or can you just predict the outcome of every wrestling match?
There was one WrestleMania about 4 years ago where the crowd was extremely happy. Like Seth Rollins beat Brock Lesnar. Kofi Kingston beat Daniel Bryan, and Becky Lynch beat Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair, and that crowd went home extremely happy and also extremely tired. It was like an 8-hour show. So it's happened. I don't like some heels need to win, and that's where you throw in like Gunther and stuff like that.
And Rhea in this situation,
Rhea would be the heel, but people are gonna be happy that she wins.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of want Dominic to win, but because it's like the whole Rey Mysterio going into the Hall of Fame, maybe he has to win. I kind of want Dominic to win though.
Yeah, I feel that. I know what you mean, and it does seem kind of poetic that Rey in real life would kind of pass the torch over to Dom at a WrestleMania and say, now you get to be the superstar. But putting him over as the heel isn't exactly the same as like endowing him with the Mysterio mask or something like that.
No, I don't think that would happen yet. I feel like at some point in the future that will happen.
Yeah,
that's how Ray got it. Ray got it from his uncle. But Ray had already been wrestling for several years as under another name, under another mask. I think that'll happen at some point in the future, but I don't think it'll happen at WrestleMania.
All right, let us know your predictions down in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, let us know. Let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for coming by. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the terrible content. Make sure you head over and check out Martial Arts Film Freak on YouTube. Most recently, he did a review for John Wick 4, but there's tons of other great stuff you can check out while you're over there. Until next time, and on behalf of both of us, be terrible. Peace.